The group, time to cast a big net. The bodysuit. I join you this day with a vision of planet Earth, to help you see where you are in this beautiful game. You know, when you woke this morning, you not only got up and put your clothes on, but you put on a bodysuit. You put on the suit that you've designed for your journey on the game board. That bodysuit reminds you of the part you are playing as you regain consciousness from the sleep state. It is similar to having a bookmark of your life on Earth, for it reminds you where you left off and what you were doing. Your larger goals and beliefs, as well as emotional scars, are all carried within the bodysuit. It has been carefully aimed in a chosen direction. When you sleep, you carefully place it aside, like a suit of clothes you hang up for the night. You clean it and prepare it for the next day's journey. It supports and protects you in the density of the game. It's a beautiful game, even with the contrast, yet it's very challenging to see it as a game when you're in the midst of it. There is an interesting part that has happened fairly recently. We'd like to help you become aware of it, and learn a little bit more about how to anchor this into your own lives. The energy has moved through planet Earth very quickly. As we've mentioned before, several years ago time itself started to shift and come together. Time is, and always has been, variable for individuals. Although that is not a problem, the collective vibration has been somewhat stationary in relationship to time, but that is now changing ever so slowly. The human heart is on the rise. Celebrate it, dear ones, and anchor it into your lives. Humans naturally react in fear as they feel a change to their base energy. Reactions vary greatly, but the overall reaction to any fear is to step back. It's actually an energetic fear, not a conscious one. What happens is that your energy field rotating in the form of a torus retracts closer to the body, then gets pulled back as it feels the shift. Although that feels like protection in the short term, if the field is not re-expanded, the person can become open to outside influence and even radicalization. Treat yourself well, the selfish self-first equation. You deserve to be comfortable on this planet. It's very simple, you're a spirit. You came from infinity, which simply means that you had everything that you could ever imagine. Then you come here and pretend to be finite, pretending to play the game as a physical human. You've done amazingly well, but time itself has squeezed together over the last 7 years. Now it seems to you as if everything is running shorter, with not quite enough time to do the same things you used to do. That's a natural progression of age, as perception can change daily. Yet this is much more and widespread. As the physical body experiences this squeeze, it feels threatened. So, the first thing it does is to bring in its own field and pull it tight around the body, circulating but not expanding at all. That is the action of being self-first, which is absolutely appropriate because it is an energetic survival instinct. It is also critical because you're the only one that can do it. Many times, you think that becoming self-first is being selfish. Although the first initial actions may both look the same, they are different. A person who is selfish puts themselves in front of the energy line and cuts everybody else off. However, a person who is self-first fills their cup first, taking care of their own needs, so that they have more to give to other people. We tell you now that you deserve to have everything you need and more on this journey. Abundance is your nature, lack is a learned condition. If you are taking care of others or are responsible for another, this can be a tedious balance. Know that these are very difficult times for many on planet Earth, so taking time to yourself can be a wise investment. We also tell you help is on the way on several different levels. Much of this was caused by the virus that has been on planet Earth, but if not, it would have been something much worse to accomplish it. This could have resolved much faster with communication and unity, but in spite of that there are things coming which will start to help in many different areas. It is not just the virus and the deaths that have resulted, but importantly it's the new connections and the internal light each of you have shone brightly. This is a time of heroes, dear ones. Humanity has been working on this collectively and the pressure has been building. Soon you will be able to see much more of what is ahead. So, we ask all of you to take care of yourselves and treat yourself well. If you have more energy, take care of the person next to you. If you can't treat them well, then it begins a chain of events, one heart to the next. Do that often. Now let's return for just a moment to what we talked about earlier, your energy field. Most people walking around on planet Earth are used to having a huge energy field, almost 3 feet across. You wake up and put on the bodysuit for the day ahead, then you find that your energy field has shrunk to about a half of what it was. With a little bit of practice and effort you can certainly expand that back out. This will become very critical in the days ahead, but it does take more energy now. With more alternate realities being offered on Earth to control people, just walking through daily life can be more challenging. Stay centered in a reality that empowers you without disempowering others. Pointing to anything as the problem is a misdirection of energy. In spirit, everyone is deeply connected, even if the human part disagrees which reality they are living in. And that's the good news here. There are many opportunities that look like they are starting to land around the 3rd month of next year for a jump in human perception. We'll come back together to work with you, to be able to put more of a focus on it. But you should prepare now, and that's what we wish to tell you today. You know, fishermen go out and cast their nets where they believe the fish are. And they pull those nets in with whatever catch they have, then they cast their nets again. Most of the time, dear ones, your energy fields have been taking only what is directly in front of you. Now it's time to cast a much larger net, the big one, and that net will land around March. Time to cast. It's time to set all those nets into motion now. There are many opportunities to start a new project, a new direction or passion. Since the world has shifted, some may be changing jobs and careers. All these things are possibilities, but this is the time right now during the next several months to start casting well into the future. Instead of worrying about where your foot is going to land on the next step, we want to talk about where it's going to land several months from now. These are perfect opportunities to project yourself into the future for a short time and plant something positive. Plant something that you can grow, something that has to do with your passion and ground you on this planet. That is a very critical piece, yet it's difficult with so much going on. Most people are simply looking at the ground to see where their foot can land next. Look not just at March, but the months ahead of that. Where will you be 6 months from now? 4 months from now, 5 months from now? What would you like to start even now? Those are very real possibilities as you create the larger picture. 3, 4 or even 5 months from now, the energy waves that are coming through are opening up some of the possibilities and actually giving people a new breathing pattern. As you have noticed with the virus on planet Earth, many people have done whatever is necessary to dance through and not even address critical issues. The real cost of that virus is starting to show as globally economies attempt to reset. But that actually opens doors, so please don't lose sight of that. Watch for these magical waves and plant the feeling of where you wish to be in a meditation, dream, or just a thought pattern. A mindful moment can now anchor your reality in new ways, but you have to cast a large net. It's a time to think big, and that's one of the biggest points that we wish to share with you this day. Humanity has shifted some of the energy, but you're still incredibly separated on planet Earth. It's a rather fascinating process to see that, as duality is actually leaving. Yes, it's raising its head and rearing up for all that it can do, and you're seeing that process. Universal thought? At this time on Earth, it's all about finding a collective place to grow, to become empowered yourself and move into that creative aspect. All creativity comes from the same place, straight from home. In reality, everyone has the same ideas. It's a conscious flow of universal thought patterns that move from one brain to the next very quietly. Sometimes you'll find yourself thinking very negative thoughts, or thoughts that you would normally not even consider. Dear ones, you are not responsible for each thought that flows through your brain. You are responsible for the ones that stay there, so choose carefully. Take a breath. There's much taking place on planet Earth at this moment. Humanity is finding a deeper understanding of the larger aspects of spirituality. Dear ones, each person to incarnate at this time has something to bring to the collective as it evolves. At some point you will be called into service. And if you simply look the other way and decide you're not ready, it will come again. Again, and again. The reality is that those who need your gifts can see you and they know who you are. They may not understand it consciously, but if people fall into problems they will reach out. Many of you are the beings that they will reach to. In that opportunity, you propagate a global web of love. That is magical, and it shifts your entire energy of everything that you're working with. It's time to look ahead and cast a big net. Many of you are experts in several different areas. And some of you have come back right now from the future, for that magic is here at this moment. So, we tell you, dear ones, when you can stop looking directly in front of you, the magic is actually happening just before your foot hits the ground. Trust it. Look ahead months in the future. It is with the greatest of honor, dear ones, that we greet you in this way. We ask you to treat each other with respect, nurture one another at every opportunity, and play well together as you create this magical new game. I am observer. And I like to watch. Espavo. The group.